1,000 points now from the peak seen at the end of Jan 29 to be precise. But how bad is the fall compared to the peers across the globe? More importantly, what are the sectors and stocks that have pulled markets lower? Darshan is standing by with a quick sampling of the numbers. Darshan, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Neeraj. Good morning, Meenka. If you're looking at it, we are among the worst performers as far as from the peak is concerned. This is from the peak, but even if you take what happened from the start of the year, we still are among the worst performing. Some of the Asian markets have actually moved into the green. But this is from where we hit the peak on Jan 29. We were at a new all-time high, and from there the fall has been extremely high and close to a 10% fall that's come in. And there is a high possibility that today the Nifty might even go into the four-digit number, because we are just 80 points away from that level and the selling that we've seen. Lots of things that happened. Globally, markets are extremely weak, but specific to our market, I think the big turning point came in because of how the PSU bank started reacting post the PNB scam that came out, and post that there was a heavy sell-off that happened. Other contributors obviously include the long-term capital gain. Ahead of that, there is significant amount of selling. Numbers didn't come out, so lots of factors, nothing specific as such, but the numbers, the data doesn't lie. It says that we are a massive underperformer as far as the market is concerned. Now the selling has been much higher as far as some of the mid caps and small caps are concerned, and even if you're looking at some of the individual counters, there has been heavy selling that's actually come off. The Nifty is down almost 10 points now. Now look at which are the sectors that has managed to fall. Now the Nifty PSU Bank Index is the prime reason why we are in such a situation post the PNB scam. Is down 23%. The metal index is down 14%, and the main reason is that there has been a sell-off as far as global commodities are concerned. So we were also not spared. We were sell. Real estate as a pack had managed to outperform massively, but then again there was valuations had come out of place, and that is why they were selling. Banks, pharma. So if you're looking at it across all the sectors, there was heavy selling that was happening, but the banks were the prime reasons why majority of the selling did happen in trade. Now if you're looking at which were the best performers and which were the worst performers as far as the Nifty is concerned, look at counters, especially it is all banks and metal names. So Tata Steel, there is State Bank of India, there's Hindalco, there's ICICI Financials, India Bulls Housing Finance, most of and a lot of pharma names, Sun Pharma, Lupin, but they have all been there. So prime, your major counters, these are not small companies, these are large caps, and they have fallen anywhere between 15 to 20%. So heavy selling that's come in. Some of the defensives like Power Grid, Tech Mahindra, IndusInd Bank, NTPC, so they have managed to hold on, but still with a negative bias. Now if you take a look at the other stocks that on the broader side of the market, you'll get to know that first let's talk about the market capitalization. So the Nifty has shed in almost 5 lakh crore of market cap in this fall itself. The big drop came in TCS with that big block deal. The 5% drop just came in there. SBI has lost in almost 55,000 crores of market cap. Reliance has lost in almost 40,000 crore. L&T is lost in 20,000. Sun Pharma. So the market cap erosion has also been massive as far as the Nifty stocks are concerned. Apart from it, if you're looking at the broader market, and this is the Nifty 500, look at the cuts that have come in. Counters have fallen from anywhere between 30 to as high as 50%. So the selling has been extremely sharp, and that's the trend. Flows have also been not the most supportive at this point of time, but overall the numbers say FIs have sold in almost 2,900 crores, and despite a 19,000 crore buy number by DIIs, the market does not seem to find any feet. So probably or even a 4-digit can be possible on the Nifty if this selling continues.
What do you gentlemen read into the lower VIX number that you pointed out? Are we seeing low volatility on the downside, and does that mean that is the dedicated trend, or there's nothing to read into that at all?
No, well, actually, for now at 15.8, the VIX isn't exactly on the downside. From the peaks that we saw in the month of February of 19.5 or thereabouts, we came down to 14.5 or thereabouts. But India VIX at about 15.8 or percent as of close yesterday is not exactly low, just that it is not at the levels that it was at in Feb, or not at the levels that it was at when the bull markets were raging and we were close to 11.5 or 12 odd. So I think we are at the mean levels as far as average levels of the VIX.
An average 14-15, a VIX level at almost 14-15 will indicate close to 100-point up move, plus or minus. That is something as a general rule. So if we were at elevated levels of 20, that could mean the Nifty could move 100, 200 points in a day. So 15 is fine, but still there is, VIX is moving up because the volatility is extremely high, because the markets are seeing heavy selling pressure.
But the larger point is in the first plate that we put out, wherein we're showing how much the Nifty has fallen versus how much of the other markets have fallen. Now, if you see, except for the Brazilian markets, which by virtue of coming out of a deep recession last year and the economy being on such a strong footing, people are ignoring their fiscal deficits and other issues. But almost all the other markets, yes, we've fallen a lot more because of some issues that we have on the banking front, etc. But it's not that the other markets are devoid of cracks. And that's the point that I think Sean Darby was making yesterday as well, that it's happening across the board. It's not individual markets being singled out, and there's virtually no saying if
we've taken the knock a little harder, probably because of the PSU bank issues.
Yeah, and maybe in the last couple of weeks, even the political rumblings and people not completely believing that it's a given deal that the BJP will come back. So that probably affects the markets too.
All right, that's the 1,000-point fall since what, Jan 29th?
Yes, Jan 29th was when we hit a
so
record
more than
high.
5 lakh crore drop in market capitalization. And that's what has led, or those are the factors that have led to it. Darshan, thanks very much for joining us this morning to talk us through that.